Today, I want to change things up a little and talk about a topic that doesn't get discussed nearly as often as it should. Plants that you really shouldn't be keeping inside your home. And don't get me wrong here, I genuinely love houseplants. I think they make a space feel calmer, fresher, and more alive. But the honest truth is that not every plant is a good fit for an indoor environment. Some plants can be dangerous for pets or young children, others can trigger allergies or skin reactions, and a few are simply more trouble than they're worth when you factor in maintenance and potential risks. These 5 plants might look beautiful at first glance and seem like great decor choices, but there are solid, practical reasons to skip them and choose safer, easier alternatives instead. And before we jump in, if you enjoy this kind of content and find it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel and keeps content like this coming. Let's start with number 1, Dieffenbachia, the quiet threat you might not see coming. Dieffenbachia, often called dumb cane, is a very popular houseplant known for its large, eye-catching leaves and bold, decorative patterns. It's easy to see why so many people bring it into their homes. The problem, however, is that this plant is extremely toxic. Dieffenbachia contains calcium oxalate crystals, which can cause intense burning, swelling, and pain as soon as the plant is chewed or swallowed. In fact, that's exactly where the nickname dumb cane comes from, because the swelling in the mouth and throat can temporarily make it difficult or even impossible to speak. This plant becomes especially dangerous if you have pets or young children in your home. Cats and dogs that chew on Dieffenbachia can experience severe mouth pain, excessive drooling, difficulty swallowing, and in more serious cases, breathing problems that may require emergency care. When it comes to children, the risk isn't limited to eating the plant. Even touching the leaves and then rubbing their eyes or mouth can result in painful irritation and swelling, which can be frightening and uncomfortable. The sap is another major downside. It can be very irritating to the skin, which turns routine tasks like pruning, trimming, or repotting into a problem. If the sap gets on your hands and you accidentally touch your face, eyes, or lips, you're likely to feel burning and irritation almost immediately. Personally, that's far more stress and risk than I want from a simple houseplant. If you love the look of big, bold, leafy plants, there are much better and safer alternatives out there. Plants like the Chinese evergreen or the cast iron plant offer that same full, lush appearance without the serious health risks. Both of these plants tolerate low light conditions just as well as Dieffenbachia and are far safer overall. While Chinese evergreens still aren't meant to be chewed on by pets, they're nowhere near as toxic or aggressive as Dieffenbachia, making them a much smarter choice for most homes. Now let's move on to number 2, Oleander. Beautiful, but extremely dangerous. Oleander is sometimes grown indoors, especially in colder climates where it can't survive outside year-round. And I'll admit, it's a stunning plant, producing flowers in shades of pink, white, and red that can instantly brighten up a space. But appearances can be very deceiving. Every single part of this plant is highly toxic. Even small amounts can cause serious health problems, and in extreme cases, oleander poisoning can be fatal for both people and animals. What makes oleander especially frightening is that it doesn't just cause mild stomach issues. It directly affects the heart, leading to irregular heartbeats and potentially life-threatening medical emergencies. There have been documented cases where children were poisoned simply by sucking on the flowers or using oleander branches as roasting sticks for marshmallows. Pets that chew on the leaves can become critically ill very quickly, turning what seems like a small mistake into a serious and dangerous situation. Even the smoke from burning oleander trimmings is toxic, which adds yet another layer of risk. Honestly, there's no truly safe way to keep this plant inside a home where kids or pets are present. And even if you live alone, the danger still isn't worth it. One small accident or moment of carelessness could easily send someone to the emergency room. If you're looking for flowering plants to enjoy indoors, there are many much safer options available. Orchids, African violets, and Christmas cacti all provide beautiful blooms without putting anyone at risk. They're safe for both pets and children, and they're generally much easier to care for than oleander. You still get all the beauty and color, just without the constant worry and potential danger. Moving on to number 3, the sago palm, a plant that is incredibly dangerous for pets. Despite what the name suggests, sago palms aren't true palms at all. They're actually cycads, an ancient group of plants, and they are considered one of the most toxic plants you can have in your home if you own a dog. Every single part of the plant is poisonous, but the seeds are by far the most deadly. Even a very small amount can cause sudden and severe liver failure in dogs, and tragically, the mortality rate remains high even when veterinary treatment is started quickly. What makes this plant especially concerning is just how common it is. Sago palms are widely sold at garden centers and home improvement stores, often without any warning labels. Many pet owners bring them home without realizing the risk until it's too late. Dogs are naturally curious animals, and they may chew on the stiff fronds or dig into the soil and swallow the seeds. Those seeds closely resemble nuts, which makes them even more tempting and dangerous for pets. Symptoms of sago palm poisoning can include vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, and signs of severe liver failure. Even when poisoning is recognized early and treated aggressively, many dogs sadly don't survive. If you have pets, this is one plant that simply isn't worth the risk under any circumstances. If you like the look of a palm-style plant, there are much safer alternatives available. A parlor palm or a rhaphis palm provides that same tropical, airy feel without the danger. Both are completely non-toxic to pets and children, much easier to care for than sago palms, and far better suited for indoor environments. Parlor palms, in particular, thrive indoors and are a great choice for pet-friendly homes. Number 4 on the list is English ivy, and this one is both an allergy trigger and a magnet for pests. At first glance, English ivy looks beautiful. It trails gracefully from pots and can climb walls or shelves, giving a space a classic lush appearance. But once you bring it indoors, the downsides start adding up quickly. For starters, it's toxic if pets or children ingest it, often causing stomach upset, drooling, and vomiting. Beyond toxicity, English ivy is notorious for attracting spider mites and other pests when grown indoors. Spider mites are especially drawn to ivy, and once they appear, they're incredibly difficult to eliminate. The infestation spreads rapidly to nearby plants, and before you know it, your entire indoor plant collection can be affected. The thick, dense foliage of ivy creates ideal hiding spots where pests can live, feed, and multiply unnoticed. There's also the human health aspect to consider. Some people develop skin reactions from English ivy. The sap can cause dermatitis, leading to itchy, red rashes that can be uncomfortable and persistent. If you prune or handle the plant and then touch your skin, you may end up with an unpleasant allergic reaction. On top of that, English ivy can trigger respiratory issues. It produces pollen that may worsen symptoms in people with allergies or asthma. And when kept indoors with limited air circulation, those symptoms can become even more pronounced. If you're searching for a trailing plant to decorate your space, there are far better choices. Tradescantia is an excellent alternative. It grows just as quickly as ivy, comes in beautiful shades of purple and pink, and is much less likely to attract pests. Hoya plants are another great option. They trail nicely, feature thick, waxy leaves, produce fragrant flowers, and are generally much easier to keep healthy and pest-free indoors. Number 5 is Ficus benjamina, commonly known as the weeping fig. And this one truly earns its reputation as a drama queen. It's a popular indoor tree, but it's infamous for being extremely sensitive and high maintenance. The biggest complaint is constant leaf drop. Even the smallest change in lighting, temperature, watering schedule, or location can stress the plant and cause it to shed leaves non-stop. You'll often find yourself sweeping up fallen leaves day after day, and it's not just messy. Ficus trees produce a sticky sap that can drip onto floors, furniture, and nearby surfaces. That sap is difficult to clean and acts like a magnet for dust and dirt. If the plant is placed near anything valuable, the sap can slowly damage or stain those surfaces over time. Ficus is also a common allergen. The plant produces latex, which can cause reactions in people with latex sensitivities. Even individuals who have never had a latex allergy before may develop symptoms after long-term exposure. Common reactions include itchy eyes, a runny nose, sneezing, and respiratory irritation. Definitely not what you want in your own living space. On top of all that, ficus is toxic to pets. If cats or dogs chew on the leaves, they may experience stomach upset, excessive drooling, and vomiting. When you put everything together, the constant leaf drop, sticky sap, allergy concerns, and pet toxicity, it becomes clear that Ficus benjamina is more trouble than it's worth for most households. If you're determined to have an indoor tree, there are much better options available. A rubber plant or a fiddle leaf fig can give you that same bold, leafy appearance and grow into impressive statement plants. Rubber plants are especially forgiving indoors and don't drop leaves every time something changes. Fiddle leaf figs can still be a bit particular, but they're far less dramatic and demanding than Ficus benjamina. The goal of this video isn't to scare anyone away from owning plants. The goal is to help you make smarter, more informed decisions. There are hundreds of beautiful, safe, and easy houseplants available, so there's no real reason to bring something into your home that could harm your family, your pets, or your peace of mind when safer alternatives exist. Before buying any plant, it's always a good idea to take a few minutes to research whether it's toxic, especially if you have kids or animals. The ASPCA offers an easy-to-use database that lists both toxic and non-toxic plants, making it a valuable resource. When in doubt, stick with plants that are widely known to be safe, such as spider plants, parlor palms, or peperomia. It also helps to be honest with yourself about how much plant drama you're willing to tolerate. Some plants demand constant attention and still cause problems no matter how carefully you care for them. Life is too short to argue with a plant that drops leaves just because you looked at it the wrong way. Choosing plants that match your lifestyle and experience level makes a huge difference. So there you have it. 5 plants you might want to think twice about before bringing them into your home. For every plant that comes with risks or frustrations, there's usually a safer, easier alternative that offers the same beauty without the stress or danger. That's it. If you found this information helpful, consider subscribing to the Still Growing Seniors channel for more honest, practical advice on plant care. Let us know in the comments if you've had any negative experiences with these plants. Are there any other plants you would add to this list? What topics would you like to see next? Be sure to click the like button if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you choose the right plants for your home. Happy gardening!